I profit on those who chase because I have my entry, right? But then the reason why it goes up because other people buy.
And you're not letting the what you could be making deter your process. You're just saying, if I continue my process, this is what will happen. And that's the key. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Gen Traders YouTube channel. Today we are recording episode 13, and James decided to remind me before the episode that it is Saturday, September 4th, 2021. We're going to get into a little bit of our recaps from August, as well as go over our trades from this week, how we're adapting to the new month of September, as well as some of the goals we have for the rest of the month, as well as how the market environment is doing. So after all of that, we will just have a little bit of open discussion, and Xander is going to take us out with the outro. So first, we are just going to talk about how our weeks are going. So Xander's going to go first.
My week went perfectly, just as I wanted it to go. Like I explained in the last, not daily recap, but the last episode, I said basically that I wanted to just trade my newfound system, and I was hoping that it would be profitable. And this week it was very profitable. And I can't wait to go more into that. But yeah, the week was great.
Yeah, so for me, this week was actually a pretty boring week for me. I only took one trade on Monday, and then the rest of the week I missed a few plays, but didn't really take anything. And so far in September, I have 0 trades, and in my opinion, it's better to have 0 trades than being red and forcing trades that are not perfect. So yeah, I'm just patiently waiting for the trades to come to me. And yeah, and the month I'll talk about later.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah, for me this week, transitioning from the end of August into September, I made quite a few changes. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was September. So I'm feeling a lot better about the state of my trading now than I was in August. I'll talk about my month later and what I've changed. But I'm read a small amount on the week over, I think 4 or 5 trades, maybe something like that. But I'm not focused on the amount. I'm just focusing on the best and leaving the rest. And I'll talk more about that later. So James, what you got?
My week was good. I made 1 trade. Honestly, nothing much, man. I'm just doing the same old, just sticking to the process. Nothing too much. And then of course I'll go over my month as well, later in the video as well.
Awesome. Xander, take us in the listed market.
Awesome. So the listed market, let me think. It was a massive cool down from the week before. The week before Thursday, Friday was really, really hot. No, I don't care if you say it's not. It was. There was a lot of gappers. The screeners were full. There was a lot of just movers and a lot of volume. But then the next week, this week we're recapping. It just like died. There were so pre-market was dead until pumpers came in around 9 market time. So like the market open did seem like relatively active, and there were a fair amount of setups for me, and I was able to make a trade every day. So that kind of tells you that there were setups, and I trade low-hanging fruit mainly. So that means there were some gappers that then broke down, and there were some plays. So it's not, it could be worse. So I'm fine with what it's at right now.
Yeah, in OTCs, so this week was good, but it wasn't as hot as I expected, like from last week. I would say there were like 4, maybe 5 sold trades on like my style of trading, and that's, like I said it many times, that's exactly what I want. In my opinion, it's a perfect like slow market, not slow, like slow or like mid market, when you just have to take the predictable, stress-free trade and just remain patient like during all the other times, because you don't want to waste your mental capital and also your money trading other stocks and then miss the perfect ones. So in this market, you just have to stay disciplined, then take only the best trades.
Love it. Yeah, awesome. Spot on. I don't have anything to add. You guys summed it up perfectly. Anything else to add about the markets before we get into a little bit of monthly recap?
Hopefully they can start heating up soon. Other than that, nothing much, man. Not much.
Awesome. Anyways, well, before we get into the monthly recaps, Xander's going to go first. Xander is posting his monthly recap on his YouTube channel. Go watch that. Link in the description. Alex posted his monthly recap on Profit Lead. That'll be in the description. I posted a little shorter monthly recap on Profit Lead. Link in the description. James hasn't posted a monthly recap. I don't know if he will, but if he does, it'll be in the description. No, he's nodding his head no. So not one for James, but make sure to go look at those in the description. And Xander is going to talk a little bit about how his month.
Yeah. So before we get into like my trades and stuff like that, and I am going to make the daily recap, the monthly recap, where I just go over basically the trades I was taking before, where I was consistently losing, and I kind of just flipped it around, and now I'm consistently winning. And it's from one simple thing, and that's I was shorting the bottom of the range, which was where you should be longing. Instead, now I'm shorting the top of the range, and that's because, you know, that's where the move is, that's where the resistance levels are. The high day is the best one. It's the outermost lines. That's where the buyers are selling, and that's just where the stock naturally just reverses. And before I was shorting after confirmations, which shorting confirmations is good as long as it breaks a support level. But what I was doing is a lot of the time the stock didn't even break the support level, and I was still shorting the bottom of the range, and so it just bounced back to the resistance level. And so Alex Bao, like all the MIC members, they were covering where I was shorting, and that's because I was shorting the bottom of the range and they were shorting the top of the range, and so they got the actual move and I got nothing. I got stopped out nonstop. But I managed my risk really well, so that's what I really like. Like, that's the thing, you need to keep your risk small while you're unprofitable, because, you know, I could have had a $30 risk per trade, okay, and I lost, let's just say, 10 trades. That would have been $300. Instead, I was risking $10 per trade, so maybe I only lost $100. I think it was even lower than that. But yeah, I mean, you just got to size down until you start seeing profitability, and then slowly start sizing up. So that's exactly what I did. So I reached out to MIC. I have a perfect video explaining everything before and after, which is saying I found out why I'm unprofitable. That's the video. It's really awesome, and I was not expecting that video to actually mean I was profitable since then. But ever since then, like, it's been really good. Now I'm not expecting it to be clean sailing from here. It's just going to be even harder when learning to add to winners, and just if the setups change, because my setup is a little weird compared to what MIC teaches, and so who knows, maybe it'll go away in a month, but I'm going to be prepared for that. But yeah, basically I'm shorting the top of the range now, but what I actually focus on now is low-hanging fruit, and I didn't trade those before because, you know, the risk reward is absolutely terrible. But I found a setup and a strategy where I short red to green. I short it has to be below red to green. It has to pop to red to green, and then I short that, and then I cover the support levels and below that. And these are day 2 low-hanging fruit plays. And so far, I literally haven't lost one on the setup. And when I do, it'll be a 1 hour loss, and I will hopefully, you know, not lose more than 2 in a row, and then just win more, because it has about a 90% win rate based on like tracking over the last month. And so I'm excited to see when I lose how much it's going to be. It should be 1 R. Unless I include commissions, it might be 1.5 worst case scenario. But my gains on the setup are actually like 1 to 1.5. And so let me hop into my trade review for this week, where this week I really started. So the week before I was doing the same setup. So the week before I was doing the same setup, but I had a really wide risk, and so my gains were so small. So this week I changed to a very tight risk. So I've been getting like 300, 500 shares on these setups, $1,000 position size, where before I was literally getting 50 shares. I was getting no gains. So let me show you guys. All right, so this is this week, all right? And if I clear this, you'll see how much bigger these gains are this week compared to the ones before. Just by having a tighter stop, because with the red to green short, that's literally the thesis. Your thesis is that it's going to reject red to green. And if it goes above that, then your thesis is wrong. So there's no reason to risk above it. And so I'll show you some chart examples. This is taking like 5 years to load. I guess I'll show you chart examples while it loads. Let's see. All right, so as you can see, this is my first trade where I actually tightened my risk a lot. And so the stop was really like right above red to green. If you were to see day one, this is pre-market, but if you were to see the day one, it would be a huge stock that gapped and ran and then broke down. And now there's a lot of bag longs. And so naturally there's a lot of selling pressure, anything over red to green, or even just getting up to it. So we reject red to green perfectly right here. And I literally, this is the second I woke up and I realized we're very close to red to green. That's one of the criteria. You need a short when it's really close to red to green. And so that's what I did. And I mean, my new rule is that I can't cover until I at least get 1R. And so I think this line right here is 1R, and I covered there, and it literally bottom ticked basically, popped. And then I accidentally fat fingered this, which is why I couldn't take a trade on Wednesday, which if I was able to take a trade on Wednesday, it would have been profitable, but it would have been a half R win just because I would have swapped out half for break even because it was kind of a weird movement stock. But yeah, this one I got stopped out for a small amount of size. This is my strategy where, you know, I'm scaling out along the way. I think this is 50% size. This is probably like 40% size. And then this is like 20% size for the home run, just if it dumps more. Because a lot of the time my setup, it dumps on market open, and that's when you want to sell. And so that's why I'm holding on a little more for that. And these are just trades this week. Another one is Kplt. Same thing. I shorted right at red to green. Oh, not right at red to green, but when we got within like 10 cents of it, my stop was around, I think it was 515. And then again, I covered when we were near my 1R line. I covered a little more on this wash because we had a 4.8 support level. And then I tried, you know, getting as far as I can. I had one more order right below 2R, but then it ripped. And this was like 10% again, like the same last trade. But I was bottom ticking these lows, which is really sick. But yeah, that was awesome. This one was not this one was a low-hanging fruit, but it wasn't the same thing. So this one was over red to green, or green to red, pre-market, and then on market open we have a big stuff, we reject, and everything lined up. This is like the stars aligned. We have red to green. We have this, you see this red line, it's the support line for the trend, and we have VWAP. So just 3 indicators, and we're at a 220 level, which is often a very significant support or resistance level. And then 12 is support here. I short 220, and I cover at this support just in case it wants to rip. I should have held a little bit longer just because there's so many people trapped from the day before, a lot of volume over the red and green line. So I should have known that there was just going to be so much selling pressure. And I actually had more covers out down here, but I was emotional because this was a reactionary trade compared to a very planned in advance trade. I had a very good plan on this and I was able to come up with it quick, but I set my stop too wide for the first, so I got like really small size. I was risking half my normal risk just because it's a little non-niche. So that's one thing. My sizing, I go full size on the setups that I really understand, which are the setups I've been showing you before this. But on any non-niche setup, I go half size. But a bad part is I had a 1240 risk, which should have been a 1235 or 1230, which would have mean I would have got double my size basically, which kind of sucks. But it was still like a $6 gain compared to, so it was like 0.25R. Kind of sucks. But I'm focusing on the chart with this one because I know half size. Like this is what I like to imagine. Of course, the gain is very small. The R is not very good. But like a year down the road, if I'm risking like let's say $500 a trade, this small gain would be over $100. It would probably be like, oh, I don't know math, like $150, $200. It would be a big gain, like relatively. So that's what I like to focus on. TLSA, not Tesla, but this was the same setup, shorted near red to green, had a stop over. This stop was a little too wide. I had a 205 stop. I kind of broke my rules in terms of setting my stop too wide, but I was like, oh well, first of all, you see this, like there's no clear direction with this low liquidity. It's hard to see if it's making higher lows or not. So I was like, oh, it might wick over. I should have had my stop at 202 or 203 like I wanted, but I set 205. I got 500 shares, but instead I got 300. It was still a 1 hour gain, so I really like that. I covered at the 1 hour line, and the problem with this is you can see here the entire day was around this range, and so basically there weren't that many people trapped, and so that's why I sold at 1 hour instead of holding more. It did go a little lower, but not that much, and I think that's the reason it didn't go lower, because a lot of people were still green on the trade, so there wasn't as much selling pressure. So those were all my trades this week. This finally loaded. As you can see, these were my gains before the week, and these are my gains once I tightened my risk. This was that one SKLZ trade, very small. But honestly, I'm seeing a lot of growth, and I'm excited to see what the chart looks like and how I take a loss. And I really just can't wait for the whole month to see how my system works, because that'll be the true test. If it's very profitable, like my data tracking says, I'm going to be so hyped, and I'm just going to, keep following my sizing up system, which I'm going to come out with a video on that. Basically, I size up $5 every week that I trade the process well and I'm green. And then next month, if I traded this month very good and I'm green, I'll change that to $10. And so each week I'll size up $10. So it's really, really exponential, probably too much, because in 3 months, I did a simulation. In like 4 months, I'll be at like a $500, $1,000 risk per trade. It's kind of too much, but this, I like my system. Yeah, I like my, that's if you trade perfectly. So I can't wait to see how, everything evolves. I just, I'm really, really motivated and excited right now. So that's how I'm doing.
Love it. Xander, I've got two things. I got 2 things. One, I love how you're doing this whole new R compound thing, Brian Lee style. I love that. Second, I love when you said when your plays are like top notch in your niche, you go full size, and when they're not, you go half size. I think that's great advice. Those were 2 of my favorite parts, but great job. Awesome, Alex is going to go next. So.
Yes. Okay, so August 2021 was my second actual green month since February. All the months since March, March was very red. But then April, May, June, July, they were all green, but due to the commissions, I was red on all of them. I still counted them all as green, and I knew that I was doing great. But you still look at the actual panel too. But this month, last month I had 8 trades and I paid, no, that's not last here. Last month I had 7 trades and I paid $87. This month I had 12 trades and I paid $54. That was because in the middle of the month,
Schwab, baby.
Yes, I switched to Schwab, and I used E-Trade only my first week, and then there was one time on the F ticker. So all this time I was using Schwab, and it's a game changer, that's for sure, because without it I would have been red again. So, but now I can actually get what I deserve, So looking at the stats, the one thing that I'm very happy about is this. My average loser is just 3%, and the winner is almost 10. So it's and also the same with winners and losses. So the factor between them, the profit factor and the percent gain factor, is 3, and that's the perfect one. If it's at least 3, that means you're doing great. And also my biggest loss is just 5% and 20%, which is my risk level. My normal risk is $20. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. And so the lessons that I learned. First one is choose the most reasonable chart-based risk level. I learned this. Like I didn't lose when I learned this, but I missed a perfect trade when I realized that actually. So that was one of my rules. The second one is don't force anything, don't chase. There will always be another opportunity. That is so key. Like I always knew that, but like every time I missed a perfect setup, I was like, oh, that was like the one, the best one. And then they're not gonna be same once again. But then the next day literally comes a perfect one again. And the third one is discipline. I would say that this month I was the most disciplined ever. Yeah, just ever I've been the most disciplined because you see like every red day that I have is like 3 times, at least two times smaller than my green days, and that's exactly the way trading I want because I only like risk reward is the main focus of mine. So yeah, and also comparing with the last month, even June, July, I was super frustrated. This month, I don't think I was ever frustrated at all. Like no frustration at all. I didn't make any like bad mistakes. I didn't make any mistakes actually, like major mistake. There was nothing. Like for me, it was a perfect month. It was even, I would say it was better than February, even though I made like 500. But obviously, you know why? Because I traded really well. I like all my rules. I follow them, and yeah. And now I want to talk about my trades. So that was TGGI. That was on this day. On the first green day, it's one of the like my favorite patterns. We had the first move, and then this first green day was, yeah, I didn't expect the breakout right away because that was too low. So that was just the first green day, and then potentially breakout later. So that was more of an intraday trade. So yeah, this trade right here. So my entry was the perfect entry right here when we had this huge volume candle. Right here, I entered right there at 45 with the risk at 44, 2% risk. And then it just stopped and just broke my risk right away. That was so like the price action was so ugly. Like I just hated it. Then it broke my risk. I sold there. And then like this action it was super choppy. Like it looks choppy and it was choppy. The level 2 was so choppy, like the sellers, the buyers, everything was choppy, but it still like it did exactly what I wanted. And then the next day, literally the next day, had a nice gap up and spike. So that's like 20% of my entry. Like it hurts. And then the next day, it literally had the same pattern. And this one, I wasn't even trying. Like I saw this, but I didn't even try because I was like, I know that the last time it was super choppy, so I didn't want to try. But I guess it had, and I saw the one time that I didn't trade it, it did what I wanted. So that was on Monday, I guess. Yeah, that was on Monday. That's the only trade I took. But I have 3 missed trades that I printed. So the first one was APTY. That was on the, yeah. So the risk reward on this trade is unbelievable. Like, so the risk level was 1 0. So that was 0 0 1 3 5. With the entry at, I mean, the perfect entry obviously was to 36, but probably you like get filled at like 37, 38. But still, the risk is just maximum 2%. So you have 3 points of the risk, like 8 to 5, and then look at this. That's not even 24 because 24 is if I sold here. So if it's sold, that's like, I remember 31. Yeah. So the whole risk reward of this, like if you buy the perfect time and sell the perfect, it's 35. So you risk $1 to make $35.
Wow.
This was just very perfect, but I don't remember why I missed this because like you see this action, this is perfect. I mean, probably was a little choppy, but as like when this candle happened, I probably would have bought. And the position size I could have used with $20 risk, that's like at least $1,000 position. So I don't care about the money, but you could have been like $100 here easily. Yeah, risking like 20, risking 20, making 100. That's nice. Then the next one is JMPR. That was on the next day. Yes. And the risk reward is is also great here. So, like all these trades are just first green days. So this one had I think let's go to the daily. Yeah. So the daily, it doesn't look that good, but it was like a breakout, potential breakout I was watching, like over this line here, over one actually, yeah, 1 cent. Because you had this huge candle, like the volume, the volume was even better, bigger than here. So, yeah, right in the morning, I think they had news. Yeah, they had morning PR right at the at the open. I don't know why I also missed this or whatever. Well, let me get a better chart. Yeah, with the cells here. So you enter here at 95, 96. The risk is also maximum 3, like 4%. And then you just, this line's here, yeah. I just like users selling into the strength. I mean, I would obviously reacted maybe differently, but I just put those numbers here. And the risk reward is also 1.7, that's meaning here. So, but if you sell there, it's like 10, 12 maybe. So yeah, this all trades, like all these morning quick trades, they're just the best ones. Even though I remember before I was saying that I'm more of an afternoon trade, but like the trades that are in the afternoon, they're more like, I think they have more confirmation because they're like, you react based on the whole intraday chart, but here just like a quick moves. And the last one was SUB. Yeah, here. That was also, that was also a first green day after, yeah, after two red candles. Yeah, that wasn't that perfect, this one, because your risk was 10%. Yeah, that's, I asked one of the traders, yeah, like he traded the one, he had this exact entry, and he said, yeah, my risk was 10%, but you get their reward of like 20%. So it's, I mean, not 20, let's see, from here, yeah, even 30 here, 30%. So if you risk 10 to, it's just the same thing, we just have a smaller position, but it means the dollar amount is just stays the same. So that's when the rule of choosing the most reasonable risk level, no matter how wide it is, comes into the play. Like if you used like a different risk level, maybe you would have like a dip and then broke out and you would just sell for a loss. So yeah, and see, like on all these trades, I'm trying to like scale out. Like before I was just selling into one piece, but I think, yeah, into this morning moves, it's better to just scale out. And just maybe that would be a third, and then the next third would be here into the weekends, because that was like 40% move. But yeah, and the risk reward just 1, 2, 1, 3. So that wasn't that perfect here, this trade, but still solid. So that's like you have 3 solid trades, and also my trade that was also solid, but just didn't work out. So this week there were 4. I mean, there were also other ones, but just for my style of trading, there were 4 solid trades. There were also this one. Yeah, but this one I didn't trade here in the morning. And this, I know Lance, he missed this one. At this nice.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I look for in morning OTCs. That's what I want right there. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was the first green day, and then the second green day, you get this little thing.
Wow.
There was also like another one. I remember. Do you remember, Lance? There was another one had the same thing.
Like a dip and rip.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
KLYG.
Oh, yeah.
KLYG.
Yes.
Had one right there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, that was freaking beautiful.
I actually checked it as a panic, because that was 20% panic, and then 60% bounce on the first one.
Wow.
And the total bounce is 130.
Oh
Yeah. Actually, all the panics that I've checked, they're all actually, like, they all have a good results, but I'm still not really comfortable with them.
I was mad watching that real time.
Yeah, like there was
no FOMO, but I was kind of irritated, to say the least.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have. So I took only one trade, but I'm still, I always try to be like a sniper, like James said in the last episode. So I'm fine, just hitting only the best ones. Yeah. So that's all I have.
Love it. Great job, Alex. You said there was like 5 trades this week that fit your trading style.
Yeah, like 5-4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, because you're focused on what's best for you and not caring what everyone else thinks is best. So that's awesome.
Oh, and
Anything else?
also, yeah, Walnut. So that loss that I had, it was 2%. Then the loss before was 1%. The loss before was 1%, then 5%, and then my my winner was 12%. So I literally covered like all the losses together.
Wow.
And also I forgot to say about no commissions, because I can finally like put this idea into the actual, like, I can actually see this work. Like, because I always used to say my winner's gonna cover 3 or 4 losing trades, but it never did because I had commissions. But now they're actually.
Yeah, that's a great change. Love it. When OTCs heat back up, I'm probably going to be making a Schwab account. So.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Everyone's gonna make a Schwab account.
Yep, we all got to have a Schwab account. James over here needs an E-Trade account first. Let's start with that.
Honestly, I don't think I'll ever trade OTCs. I'm going to be honest. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
I'll
still,
ever
you
go
need an
to it.
E-Trade account.
I do have an E-Trade account. I just don't use it.
Use it. Anyways, we'll
Jack
get to
Kellogg-
you. We'll get to you in a little bit.
Jack Kellogg made six.
Yeah, we'll deal with it. Yeah.
Wait. Jack Kellogg made $6 million in 6 months, and he said he was 80% OTC.
That's wild.
Yes, sir.
That's wild.
Okay, go, Lance. It's your turn.
Okay, Lance's turn. I don't know why I said that in third person. Anyway, so August, I learned a ton of valuable lessons. It was kind of like a month where I needed to really reset, step back, and get real with myself of what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. I overtraded. I forced trades that I shouldn't have made. I wasn't focusing on my best. My executions of my plan were not where they should be. I was letting my settled cash determine some of my trades, which is absolutely terrible. And I wasn't waiting for correct confirmation. So basically, August was a month for me of really kind of revitalizing a bunch of small things, kind of like refocusing. And September so far, I'm loving where I'm at right now. I'm super excited for the current week. We all are. But I'm not gonna I lost like $70 on the month, which I don't care about the money at all. I just know that I was not executing the way that I should be. So yeah, that's really it. I don't really have a ton else to go into for August, but I'm gonna get into a little bit of September later. But now I'm gonna go into my trades. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, so first let me go to the daily chart. This is on any. All right. Why is my Thinkorswim so slow? Anyways, this was on Thursday, the second day of September. This was the daily breakout line in the 770s, and this is the day that I traded, just to give some daily chart insight. I drew this trend line here from pre-market. This was at like 5 in the morning. Drew it down. It held. Support trend line right here, and the breakout levels up here in the 770s. So right here, this was one of the trades where I didn't wait for the correct confirmation. I actually had my limit set at 704 right here, but I jumped the gun and got in at 698. So I didn't wait for this trend line to break. And as you can see, it was my own damn fault. I ended up getting stopped out right here in the 680s, dipped under VWAP, and then as you can see, had that massive run, ended up breaking out. My plan would be to hold, wait for it to set a new chart level, and sell into the next push. So I would have been out here in like the 780s-ish, but I'm not gonna make a hypothesis or anything on where I would have gotten out. But my plan, just have to follow it. Yeah, here my main lesson was not waiting for the correct confirmation. As you can see, I got in a tiny bit early, but I was really happy with my recognition and focusing on my best. This ended up being the best stock of the day on Thursday. So I was happy with that. I just didn't execute as well as I should have. So just working off a little bit of the rust. And then I'm going to go over SPRT from yesterday, Friday. Ignore this. This is for later. Anyways, let me go to the daily chart. All right. So, oh my gosh. This was on Friday. I was looking for the first green day reversal. It was teetering near red to green all day, looking to go green on the day. So as you can see, it was under VWAP. I saw it start basing up here. Then it started having this consolidation. I was like, okay, great. I love this consolidation here, as you can see. So I drew a trend line right here, right on top of the consolidation along VWAP. And this is where the run was going to be to put it green on the day. As you can see, I got in at the break of my trend line right here at 22.64. My risk was originally set at 22.19, so below this support right here. So my risk was good. I was talking through this with Alex afterwards. I was prepared to be patient. I'm actually glad that I ended up selling here. I sold here because once this level held, I set my new risk right here at 22.61. So that's why I got stopped out right here. It ended up failing in the big picture, but I'm glad that I was patient. I'm super happy with this. This is how I want to trade. I was up like 2.7% unrealized, but patience is key on these kind of setups that turn first green day, especially for the Friday afternoon squeezer. But so yeah, this was literally a break even 36-cent loss. But I'm really happy with where I entered and exited. So yeah, I'm just working on focusing on the best right now. So Xander, you sound like you could say something.
Yeah, can you zoom out like so I can see the whole day?
Yeah.
So I want to see.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Okay. What were your sell plans? Like, where were you planning on selling?
I was going to analyze the chart for new support levels, but I was glad that I was patient and didn't just take, even though I would have had a small gain. I'm glad that I moved my risk up right here. I didn't have an exact
high day. Was it high day?
Because like, what's your selling plans on every stock? Because like, if I was a long, I would be selling where I would be shorting. Like, because like right away I see 23.5, but I also see 23. Just because, okay, so if you look at the $23 line, and you look at that spike over there, you see that's where the most volume was, over 23. That's where all the longs are looking to break even. So that's why that's a lot of the reason why it fails right there. So I would take
in the morning.
Yeah, I would take half at like 23. I would take more at 23.5, and then maybe hold like 20% for a high day for a home run. That's just my personal opinion. That's what I would do. But yeah.
No, that's smart. I'm glad that you said that because I didn't look at the differences in volume from market open to later in the day. So I knew that volume was coming back in, but I didn't analyze like there was more here, longs looking at break even here. I like the way that you analyzed that though. But yeah, you're right. Now that I look at it on a second look, obviously it's hindsight, but I definitely see what you're saying. I appreciate it.
I love how you move your stop like up to the new support level. That's what I really like about this trade.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I have to I'll talk about that in a second, but let me remove my.
Were you planning to sell like at the high day or even more?
I didn't have a profit goal. I was just going to analyze new support levels as they
okay, but did you expect it to break high day?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah,
because as you can see, it went red to green. It opened here. So at 23 was red to green. And this is 23. So it just barely touched red to green and then just stuffed.
Wait, isn't red to green based on the previous close, not open?
No, pre-market, like the open.
Is it?
Like at 4 in the morning.
No, yesterday's close, like
that's the
4 p.m. market time is the previous close.
No,
it's actually the open price of the candle at 4:01.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about right here at 23.
No. It's the previous day. Go to the previous day close.
Go from where it went from open to after hours.
Oh, so it's that's like 16:01.
Yeah, it's 16:01. and it's the open price of that candle. Like sometimes it like gaps up a bit, and so
Oh,
that's
that's
why
why it's
the
always
line is a little
when I
different.
track them, and then when I
Yeah.
like go to the daily, and then the closing like at 150, like at 15.59, the closing price is different
Yeah.
than shows on the daily. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking
I-
about. That line that shows up is previous day's close, but I'm saying I draw my own red to green line.
But that's not. But I mean, that's not red to green.
Then what is it?
It's nothing, because so look, the stock is green when it's above previous close.
Right.
Even if on the
Yeah.
daily chart it looks red.
Right. All right, guys. So those are my trades. Sorry about that. We just had a little bit of technical difficulties with the red to green line. We were just getting some things situated. But anyways, yeah. I'll talk about more like what I'm looking for in September in open discussion in a second. But that's all I have trades wise.
So I guess James, he's not coming.
So James, would you like to show us your charts?
For your trades this week.
No words from non-existent James. He's getting his internet trying to work, guys. That's why he's not.
Okay, well,
Anyways, should we just get an open discussion?
yeah.
Okay, so does anyone have anything before, or can I say something?
No, you start.
Okay, so an analogy that I was thinking about over the past few days was, and it really was pretty good for me and really relating to my trading super well, was a lion or a tiger are some of the most dominant animals in the jungle. They're not going to waste all of their energy trying to chase a squirrel. They're going to wait for like a huge freaking meaty deer or something to come running in the field. Last month, I was chasing too many squirrels as a tiger. I need to be focusing better on the deer that run in front of me and not the freaking squirrels. That was just an analogy that I talked about. But this month, I'm really focusing on, first of all, not over trading. Second of all, following my plans better. Third of all, focusing on my best when they come, because obviously discipline and patience are super, super important for waiting for your best setup and being disciplined with your risk management and all that. And that's great. But it also goes both ways to have the discipline that when your best setups do show up, that you trade them exactly according to your plan. And so discipline and patience, it goes both ways. It's not only like controlling like emotions and everything, but it's when your best do show up that you capitalize on your plan completely. So that was just some notes that I had.
How you want to add to your analogy? So why is lion the king and not the elephant? And the one thing that I talk about is you can imagine the elephant being like a trader who has a lot of money, but he doesn't have the mindset of the lion. And he thinks that he can be the king. So then he uses like all of his, because he has all the strength, meaning the money, but he cannot like do the same, he cannot achieve the same results as the lion. So that's just what I'm saying, that the size that like your like account size and all the tests, like it doesn't matter. It's just in the head, that's all matters.
Yeah, definitely. I like that.
I could show a sneak peek of my system and tell you guys.
Sizing up? Yeah.
Yeah, I can show you the simulation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy simulation. So this is my compound simulation. I put a little spin on it. Instead of R compound, it's M compound, because M is the variable in which you size up your risk. You add to your risk every week that you trade well. And so this is an example based on my setups stats. So the first week, which is kind of like right now, I didn't put in Monday or Tuesday because I'm just doing September. So September's M is $5. And so that means if I trade the process well in a given week, the next week I size up $5 and then $5 and then $5 and then $5. And then this trade is green overall. And let's just say I traded the process really well. The next month, the M is 10. So I go from $50 to $60. Instead of 50 to 55, I go 50 to 60 to 70 to 80, 90.
Oh, that's what you
and
mean by
then
double.
that doubles. Yeah, so that doubles. The M is now 20,
I thought like
110,
okay.
130,
Okay, wait.
150.
Gotcha.
I thought you meant like your last risk level doubles. Like it went from six to like
Oh
90.
yeah, no, it's not that. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that. It's not that exponential. That's crazy. But yeah, at the end of it in December, I'm
Well,
risking 430, and the M
yeah,
is 80.
but isn't
So
it
it's like
but isn't it the
that's
best case scenario?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's best case scenario, but it is based on my current win rate stats, and I'll show you guys how I did this. So you can see how crazy it is. Like just starting with 20, if I trade well, based on my stats, like I'll end up the month good, and then the next month is literally like 400. It's like math. It's like
It's
four
like math.
times as big. Yeah, it's like 4 times as big if I trade it well, and I'll show you. Actually, I'll show you guys.
What if you don't
Let's
trade
check
well?
out my week. Oh, right. I'm gonna make a simulation where if you don't trade well, so the simulation I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna say in October I go on a massive losing streak where it kind of flips and I'm losing 60%, 70% of the time, and I'm gonna see how exponential my risk goes down because I want it to go down pretty quickly if I'm not winning. This is my specific setup tracking, but let me go to my R. This is my
Okay.
actual week. And so next week, like this is my first week I'm actually like profitable. And next week I'll be going to $25 risk and then hopefully 30, 35, 40. But yeah, these are kind of my week stats so far.
Wait,
And
you
I'm
made
gonna be tracking the
$65?
averages. Yeah, I know it's
Nice.
crazy. It added up.
Nice.
Dang,
Yeah.
nice job, Xander.
Cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even believe it.
Yeah, that's
'Cause,
drastic
yeah.
compared to what you were doing.
Yeah.
Because weren't you having
And
like
it's
$5
crazy
gains
because
before?
I was
Yeah.
yeah, $5 gains and $10 losses, and the fees were eating up all the gains. It's like my gains were $5, and so that means my gains were technically $0 because I had to pay for locate fees. So I was expecting the locates to be way more than what they were because these are like the real locate fees. I went and checked and did all the math. But like I was like, whoa, I actually made $50 net. That's crazy. I was not expecting that.
No, yeah, nice, dude. That's awesome.
What was I gonna show? Oh, right. I was gonna show you guys the simulation, the equity curve sim. All right, so yeah, this is what I did. I basically said my account size is 5,000, which it is. I did, my $20 risk per trade right here, $20. 1.5 R per trade, which that's not realistic. I'm actually right now only making like 1.1 R per. Well, actually, we could go check it out. So far I've made 0.8 R per trade. So yeah, it's lower. So let's just do like 0.8. That's not good. But the win rate again, well, right now it's 100%, but let's just say 90%. I mean, this is kind of like what I did. And then if you go over here and trade generator. All right, so this is what I did. Basically, it's totally random, but it shows you win, like it's just totally randomized. And so I did the first 5 per week, and then I reset it, and I did 5, and then I did 5. So it's a real like good, like it's the percentage I put in, and it shows you the gain and the losses. But yeah, that's what I did to make the simulation. So I would actually recommend like all of you listening, and also you guys get an equity curve sim and then put in your actual stats like right now to see like how profitable you are.
I actually
Because
wanted to do
some
that,
people may
but
be surprised.
I didn't know because all these charts in Excel, they're kind of hard for me. I don't really know how to do that. But I think TraderView
Oh
has
well,
it.
I can literally send it to you.
But TraderView.
They have an equity curve sim.
Huh?
Like they have a simulation where they show you like what your setup can do.
Oh, you
Like if
mean
you put in the stats.
I mean, if you
would
Like
have
this
your-
one predicts the
no,
future.
no, no, I'm saying you can put your trades, and it's gonna show like a curve. That's what I
Oh,
mean.
right. But this one, you put in your account value, how much you risk per trade, your real profit and loss ratio, risk reward based per trade, or profit factor, or whatever you want. You put in your win rate, and it tells you in 20 trades, your estimated amount of equity will be this. In 50
Well,
trades, in 100 trades, in 200
but
trades.
yeah, but
And
you
so
have to
you'll
know
see if
your.
your setup is actually profitable.
But do you have to know your win rate to do that?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have win rate for me. So
I saw you did. It was like 46%.
well, that's different. That's
your
just my trades, but they're all different. Like the first win days, panic the buy, they're all different.
Well, I mean, you could just average them out, and so like, what's your average risk reward? It's like 3, right? Like 3 to 1 on average, or is it more? It says like your losers are average 3% and your winners are
Oh
average
yeah,
9%, right?
yeah.
So if I type this in and what you like
Okay, I see.
$20 risk per
I see,
trade,
yeah. I think
yeah, you can
similar.
yeah.
Trader Sync has something similar.
Yeah. But yeah, this in the short term it doesn't look profitable, but in the long term it's very profitable.
Oh, nice.
So it shows you like the different trade charts and stuff. So I'll send it, and probably links in description. So if you all want to try it.
I would in the future. I might look at an equity curve, but I already know for a fact, I don't even have to put it in there, that if I trade like I did in August, I will be unprofitable. Like I knew for a fact. So
Yeah,
I
only
it's
do
not
it
even-
if you have I only recommend people do it if they have a defined like setup or process, because there's no point in doing it when you like don't have a defined setup process.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I have my setup, I just haven't been executing it like I should. So one in the future, I'll probably use it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
same for me. Like I've analyzed all this all these missed trades, but I don't think I have like a trade that I actually had like a risk reward. I mean, I have of course all my trades at like 3 to 1, 5, 4 to 1, but I don't have like that a perfect trade that like I don't know how to explain it, but my trades are like different than the ones that I miss that I print. So I'm still waiting to like nail this actually the perfect trade. Like of course I nailed it once, but like I mean the morning one when you have like a clean risk level and then the break. So I want to trade those and then see how they perform, because they seem like they're all working. So I'm like, what's the win rate then? Because like all this trades that like first win day, they have this little consolidation, and then if you actually wait for the perk, they seem like they're all working. So I'm wondering what's the percent win rate on those. Maybe I should try.
Win rate's kind of tough.
Yeah, maybe I should track them like Xander does, like that specific pattern, and then see. Like I just have to like find all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I like that, Xander. I like how you put that in your future, and you're not letting what you could be making deter your process. You're just saying, if I continue my process, this is what will happen. And that's a key. That's key to know. Because some people will use like an equity curve simulator or your R compound simulator and say, oh my gosh, I could make $1,000 in a week in like 2 months. But Xander's over here saying, if I keep continuing my process, this is what is possible. Huge difference between those two.
Right, because I honestly haven't gained full trust in my setup that I've been talking about, even though like the stats have been insane. Like it's crazy. Though, like I talked to a guy in MIC because he told me, he like taught me this whole setup, and he said the win rate was like 75 to 85%. I'm like, I don't believe that. I seriously haven't lost yet. But I'm sure it is, but who knows? I mean, maybe not. He's trading like more of them, and since I only have one day trade, I picked the most ideal one, and so my win rate might be higher than his. So we'll see.
Yeah, if you traded them all, it'd probably be a little bit lower.
Yeah.
The win rate. Yeah. Yeah, win rate's tough, like you were saying, Alex. You were like, because like with different setups and
that's a very good idea actually. So I'm gonna track those, like not only first win days and breakouts, they have this consolidation. That's actually like I'm really interested. Like, what's the win rate on those?
That is smart. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna track them like I do afternoon breakouts with 55 columns.
No, right.
Oh my
Get like
gosh.
10 columns, and you'll be good.
Yeah, like 10, 15 columns, and then the other ones just formulas by themselves.
Yeah, I like it. I like the analytical side we've been getting in for the past few minutes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like I've seen Xander your last videos, and like the one that when you were talking about like your dog, like when you had like a Google Doc you made for your VWAP outer line short.
Yeah.
That was so like
Yeah.
that was really good.
It was systematized. And that's what I like really like now, because it's ever since I watched Brian Lee again. I've always known about him and I've always watched his videos, but like I was like, I was bored with like what I was watching. And so it's like, oh yeah, I remember Brian Lee. Let me rewatch all his stuff. And like how he just talks about having like a system. It's so good having a system, because it's literally like, if this, then do this, 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 this. You just follow the steps every time. And if it's profitable, you can literally be a robot. So that's what I like.
Yeah.
But the difficult part for me, I have a lot of emotions pre-market right now, probably just because I don't have full trust in it yet. And so I'm like, I don't know, I'm just overthinking when I don't need to be. Once I'm in, I need to like get all the emotions out.
Me too, 100%. I definitely need to do that for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so since it's pre-market and I'm usually in my position for 2 hours, what I'm gonna start doing is right when I get in the position, I'm just gonna meditate for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I remember you said that because you have a morning routine, right? And you said like once I wake up and if I get to the position, then I can't do anything besides just watching the stock.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right here. I'll peek an eye out sometimes just to see because like it's so scary, low liquidity, because like they can do crazy things. That's what honestly I'm scared. I'm scared of losing on a trade, because I don't know what to expect. Like if it pops, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get out instantly, but I probably will. I'm just gonna hit the ask and I should be able to get out.
Yeah, and there's no hard stops, so that's scary too.
Yeah, that's the worst part. If I could just set my range orders, and I could walk away, oh man, I would be so calm. I'd be so happy. Impossible though.
Maybe one day. Maybe the day that Robinhood can trade OTCs will be the same day that you can set hard stops in pre-market.
Oh,
now
they better not come here. I mean, no, actually no. They better come and then give all the money to me. Literally, like if Robinhood traders come to the OTC,
I would love it, dude.
All the experienced traders is gonna kill them. I mean,
they'd be like, so look, oh yeah, everybody pump LCLP, going to the moon.
So they're gonna make money just by chasing, but then they won't be able to keep it. Never. Like they will make, but then they will just give it like on the backside. They're gonna give it everything back.
Because they hodl, bro. Diamond hands. Yeah.
Like, so you know, like my pattern, right? I wait for the perk, and then I enter there, and then I hope like to see more bidders. Yeah, like all this bullish action. But like when I think about it, that means I profit on those who chase, because I have my entry, right? But then the reason why it goes up because other people buy. But like, so just if everyone traded correctly, then no one would be able to trade correctly. You know what I mean? Like if everyone entered at the same price, then just the stock would just stop there. Just normally stop. Yeah.
Dude, that's basically like the epitome of going long in trading. It's basically how it works.
Yeah, like someone has to just like, go with us, like just chase it so that we can sit in our like at our nice entries.
It's kind of funny when you think about it as actual people instead of just like level 2 and tape. You think of actual people be like, this dumbass is buying higher than me. Oh, this person's buying higher than me.
Yeah.
just funny. It's different when you think about it like that.
But those people, they don't care about the chart. They try to put like fundamental analysis on this OTCs.
There is no fundamental analysis.
But the fundamental is based in the Twitter, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Twitter pumpers. Fundamental
Twitter
analysis.
It's not SC filings, it's Twitter filings. They look at that and then they enter because of that.
Twitter filings. Where did you get this news from in fundamental analysis in this OTC? Oh yeah, Diamond Hands Bro said that they put out a filing the other day.
Yeah, someone on Twitter said their management team is state of the art.
Yeah, I remember when I had
State
like
of the art management.
when I
team.
traded Phil, I made like 10%, and then some of the promoters they're like, "Okay, you made the worst mistake in your life." And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't say anything, but I was like, what was the mistake? Like, I sold, but now it went down, so I still can rebuy. You know, it's not like I have only one chance in life to buy. So, and also, and advice, if some promoter comments under your post, don't answer back, because if you do, then it's gonna spam you. But on Twitter, so stupid that you cannot delete the messages. Like you can delete the messages under your post. So I once did that, and that idiot just went and put like clown emojis under all my posts. So I just blocked him and never. I'm not gonna never answer to them. Just report and block them like I do on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I still remember to this day where I made like a $10 loss on EENF,
Yes.
and got tons of like 20 comments in my Twitter post. Yeah, sure, the stock did like go up a lot like the next couple days, but then didn't it have like an 80% gap?
That was
yeah,
the next.
It was terrible.
That was right the next day after your Twitter post. Yes.
It's so funny. I was like,
dude, that's literal karma.
I know. I was like, yes.
And then they all went silent.
Yeah, and they went.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
They're like, oh, maybe this 17-year-old kid was right. Stupid promoters, dude. Twitter's just. I don't like Twitter. I wish it could be used correctly, but it's not. So.
Yeah.
Should we wrap it up? Because I do have to go.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's do it. Xander, take us out.
So we all hope you enjoyed this episode. Honestly, James left, but we also had some really, really good points. Specifically, if you have a defined process, you should check out an equity curve simulator just to see if your process is actually profitable long term. Because if it's not, you probably need to change something, whether that's risk reward or the whole setup in general. And also, you know, we had some good analysis on our trades and just updates on our whole month. We've all been seeing like amazing growth. So that's really awesome. And I can't wait for next week and next month just to look back on the data. So with all that said, I hope you all enjoyed. Drop a like and subscribe and turn on post notifications because we upload every single week. And with that said, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Cheers.
Bye.
And it was literally like 3 cents above ready to green. But as you can see, it rejected it perfectly here.
What?
Again.
It rejected it perfectly there. There you have it, guys. It rejected it perfectly there. Okay, what am I doing? Come on, dude. I am out of it. Anyways, let me go back. Bear with me, guys. I'm terrible. Okay, anyway.
If you go to the daily and the September 2nd, it shows the closing price 22. Right? 22. Closing price 22.
No.
Yeah, here. It says 22 right there. It says 22.
This is the third.
I'm saying second.
Yeah, the second. This is the second.
Yeah, closing price 22.
Alex.
That's not closing. That's the open. That's the open.
Oh shit! It's red. What the hell's wrong with me?
Look
22. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Top.
It's red. Yeah. Oh my god. This video is not backed by MIC, my investing club. Xander's just a member, and he likes to make his daily recaps. Go ahead.
because they can help you and also help me. All right.